right, we're now on to the NBA and the Bulls-Celtics series. So much to talk about in this series, but let's talk with a point guard named Rajon Rondo. Is he the best player in the playoffs, not named Kobe, LeBron, or Dwayne Wade? Barry.
My good friend Chuck Barkley last night said he's the best player not named LeBron. Forget Dwayne Wade and Kobe. Rajon Rondo has turned into an excellent player. I don't know whether he's, how he ranks in these playoffs, but he's playing so well. He's not playing like this guy, but he's producing like Oscar Robertson. I mean, he's averaging almost a triple-double. I've talked with two different people today, and we talked about how bad he played last night.
I'm one of them.
Last night, Rondo missed a triple-double by 2 points and 1 rebound, and he had 19 assists. So he's really elevated his standard. When he plays bad, he's still playing good. So what he's done is he has shattered the conventional thinking of point guards. You don't have to be a traditional type of point guard, and he's also reminded us that guys really can grow into that job. 2 years ago, he was a starting point guard the last half of the year for the Celtics. As a rookie, looked awful. Just wasn't very good at all. Now, we're throwing him in with Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade.
You wonder what he would have done down the stretch these last 2 games had one of his stars not decided to foul out early. Ray Allen goes out early the other night. Then Paul Pierce, inexplicably, a foul on Noah on a breakaway dunk doesn't even hinder the dunk, and he fouls out last night. Having both of those guys in the game changes things dramatically for what Rondo can do. If his stars would keep from fouling out, he might be even more effective down the stretch. He's been good, but he has to have, I thought the shot he took at the very end of the game last night was probably not the best shot that he could have taken, but all things considered, they were cobbling together people at that point because it was third overtime and he was losing guys to fouls. So I'm so excited that this series is going 7, though. I think it's fitting that this series goes 7 games.
Well, Rondo's role, Rondo has emerged because his role is different. The beginning of the year, middle of the year, when everybody's healthy, he's got 3 future Hall of Famers he's deferring to. Doesn't need to do much. Now one of them's in street clothes, like she said. The other 2 have fouled out of the last 2 games. He has emerged. He's also a bantamweight, apparently. There's a fight in Vegas, and he'll fight anybody. and they were what's ironic about last night is they were pointing to Derrick Rose. Maybe his defense wasn't very good. Derrick Rose made the game. He sealed the game with a block shot on Rondo. So. I think it speaks very well of Rondo. When he has been asked to step up, he has.
Well, 2 things. Last year at this time, everybody in Boston was wringing their hands and asking the question, can we possibly win a title with Rondo in the lineup? It was so bad that Danny Ainge went out and dug up a bag of bones named Sam Cassell to sign, and who ended up really largely playing the ML Carr role, John, whipping towels and encouraging people. Now all of a sudden, where would they be without Rondo? And a question for people in Oklahoma City is, when you watch him play, do you see what Russell Westbrook could become?
Well, I don't think you should think that Rajon Rondo is going to be what Russell Westbrook can become. I do think it makes you think outside the box, though, because Rondo was not a traditional point guard, and Russell Westbrook's not going to be a traditional point guard. What Rondo shows and what Russell Westbrook, I think, will be is a player that you really can't put boundaries around. Frankly, we have no idea what kind of player Russell Westbrook's going to be, except for one thing. I think we can all agree that he's going to be really, really good. You can't play like he did as a rookie, produce those kinds of numbers, and not have a bright future. To me, it's just an open landscape, a blank canvas. The future's limitless for Russell Westbrook. I think Kevin Durant, and everybody would agree, there's a great chance that Kevin Durant is going to be the epic player off this Thunder roster. But it's not 100% certainty that he will be a better pro than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's future is limitless because of the athletic ability he has and the heart I think he showed as a rookie.
It's tough. If you want to put him in the traditional point guard role, he's going to flunk. He's going to fail that exercise. But if you just say, you want him on the floor and you want him doing something, he can do so many different things. I mean, I think his rebounding is phenomenal. That's, I mean, something we've seen out of Rondo is how he crashes, ability to create problems, to defend guys. I mean, if you want to say, is he a traditional point guard, an Isaiah Thomas, a Chris Paul? No, he doesn't fit the John Stockton role of point guard.
He's not going to dribble the ball up and hold up 4 fingers to tell you what play they're running.
No, and thank goodness for that. You want him to do so many different things. He's not that guy. So, I'm with Barry on this. I think he can be a lot of different things, but what that is exactly, I think is still open for determination.
Yeah, when I think of Westbrook, I don't think of Rondo, vice versa. Rondo's approaching one of the top 5 point guards in the league. Westbrook might not be in the top 15. Heck, we're trying to figure out if he is a point guard. I'm with Barry, and Jenny, his future is superb. But, Rondo's been a point guard his whole life. Westbrook just started playing some minutes 2 years after playing 9 minutes a game at UCLA.
I guess my point is this. I don't question that he's a point guard. I think he is a point guard. I just don't think he's going to be the kind of point guard we always think of. Mm-hmm. And I think when you have a player like that, Desmond Mason told me the other day, I asked him about Russell, and he said, you can't try to make him do certain things that traditional point guards do, because he said, if you try to limit what he does, then Russell's not being Russell. And, Chris Paul is so good at, getting in the lane and dumping out for an easy shot or rolling in. He's got pretty good finger roll and getting to the rim. Russell Westbrook, you let him get in the lane, he ends up dunking it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's just a different kind of player that we're going to have to get used to.
And this very topic, Barry, you've done some investigating, to quote our good friend Mike Baldwin, and you're going to write on this very topic in Saturday's Oklahoman and on News OK. Are we watching what Russell Westbrook could become, or even more? And you sort of explore that in Saturday's paper.
Well, I mean, I made a list. I just analyzed his rookie season, and I made a list of the most similar rookie point guard seasons in NBA history. And on that list are some people that maybe you've heard of. Dwayne Wade, Steve Francis, Magic Johnson, Chris Paul, Derrick Rose. I mean, I think we spent all year picking apart Russell Westbrook's game and all the things he can't do and all the things he does do, like turn the ball over way too much. And I don't think we step back and say, this guy's having a remarkable year. For a rookie point guard to go 15-3 and 5-3 on assists and play 82 games and basically take over the leadership of the team. I think it was a remarkable advancement, and I think that's one of the reasons why the future of the Thunder is so exciting.
Okay, so I step back every game during that live blog, which all of you watched during the Thunder games, and preached the gospel of that Russell Westbrook was going to be a star. So I want to go down with that. But now let's step back and talk about one last thing about this series. Last question. Is this the best NBA playoff series that we've seen in our lives, John?
No, it's too early. It's first round. It's a 2 versus a 7. You got key players out. You got one team just scratching to get to the next round, another team playing out of its gourd. It is very exciting. Perhaps it should be talked about, but it's just too early, Barry. The stakes aren't high enough.
I think not only is it the best NBA series I've ever seen, I think it's the best athletic series in the history of sport, with the possible exception of the 1980 National League Championship Series between the Astros and the Phillies, where every game went down to the bottom of the last inning with all kinds of wild things happening.
See, I don't remember that series either. So, yeah, you're right. It is as memorable as that one.
Here's the deal.
Where are you going with this? Baseball versus basketball?
Here's the deal on the Celtics and the Bulls. 13 times so far, 13 times, this series has clicked down to the last 5 seconds of the game. We're 5 seconds away from the game ending. Over. 12 of those 13 times, the game was still in the balance. Somebody had the ball with a chance to win. It's the most remarkable run of drama in the history of the NBA. We've never seen anything like it. To play 7 overtime periods, to play 6 games, 4 of them in overtime. I mean, there are NBA teams, a lot of NBA teams, that don't play 4 overtime games a whole season, much less in a 6-game series with one opponent in the playoffs.
I've been riveted by it. The rest of the playoffs is dead to me because I can't get over how good this series is. I mean, I don't know if it's the best ever, but I know that if it's on, I have to be watching. I'm not doing anything else if it's on. You just never know. No lead is safe. no, I mean, last night the Bulls get out to what, 9-10 point lead, and you thought, oh, they got it under control. And it was gone as quickly as they got it. It was just, it's been a remarkable series, huge shots, big heroes. I mean, it's just been must-see TV. And to me, I just think it's been a great, great series all the way around.
Now, John's right. It's got its flaws. The first round is not where
It's early.
Preferably it'd be the finals or the conference finals. Kevin Garnett's out. If he was out, it'd been over in 4. Boston would sweep. But you know what? We don't do this for fair. You play with who you got. So I'm with J.G. Whitfield. It's just fantastic drama. I think it's just I can't take my eyes off of it.
It reminds me of that Monty Python movie, The Life of Brian, or is it one of the Monty Python movies where there's this epic duel between a guy and another guy, and he slices off his arm, then he slices off his other arm, and the guy with no arms and no legs is saying, "Come on, it's just a flesh wound. You take away Kevin Garnett." Kendrick Perkins fouls out. Pierce fouls out. Big Baby Davis follows out. Big Baby Davis all of a sudden is playing starting roles for the Bulls. And there they stand, toe-to-toe. We got a Game 7. I think that makes this whole series just more riveting than less. And then we've seen some stars born. Joakim Noah. Who knew? This is the guy Tyson Chandler used to be, isn't it? I mean, this is a guy that... So are there any other revelations that we have seen in these playoffs that just jump out to you?
Like I said, I know there's other good series going on. I've obviously not been completely ignoring them, but to me, some of the biggest revelations have been the teams that have already gotten knocked out and the way they got knocked out. To see the Spurs get knocked out as quickly and as decisively as they did by the Mavs, to see the Hornets get knocked out as quickly and decisively as they got knocked out. To me, those are the type of things that I've been most surprised by. I know that the Magic Sixers series is good, but it's really just hard to get excited about it with Bulls Celtics out there. But I think the thing that's been most revealing, at least in my mind, John, has been those teams that have been bounced early that I thought maybe had a chance to make good series out there.
The human nature jumps out to me. There have been incredible shots. Ray Allen, 51 last night?
Gosh.
Great, physically, great supremacy, athletically. Mentally, stupidity. I mean, when they commit a foul, how they commit a foul, who they allow to get open, when they allow them to get open, you just go, how dumb are these guys? But then you remember they've been out there since 4 o'clock this afternoon.
55 minutes John Salmons had played, and there was still an overtime left.
Yeah.
Eddie House not stepping back.
Missing that by an inch.
Lindsey Hunter's laying on the court.
That
he's been leveled. You got all time step back. His foot's on the line.
Yeah.
And then Paul Pierce making that play. But as far as revelations, Barry, are the Hornets as we knew them dead?
No, heck no. As long as they got Chris Paul, they're going to be competitive. We saw that year 1 here when they just had a ragtag roster and won 36 games. So they're not dead. They're going to be competitive, but
it's different when you're on your way up than it is when you're going down.
And they've hit a
that
rough
happened
stretch.
quick.
Yeah.
They had,
Are they on their way down?
They are on their way down, and they're going to have to retool because of their salary cap. They got 4 guys making $11 million or more, and out of those 4, there's only one you're in love with, and that's Chris Paul. David West is overrated. Peja Stojakovic is old. Tyson Chandler is damaged goods. So they've got massive cap problems and roster problems.
That's all for the Press Row, but you can stay with the best coverage team anywhere, every day at News OK, and every morning in the Oklahoma.